Welcome everyone to the Tale Untold podcast, where we play D&D and speak with ridiculous character voices. Today we are starting a brand new campaign. Yay! DM'd by the impeccable Brad.
I'm very excited to DM, and I think we're going to keep a bit of the mystery and let's just jump into it. So, today is a sunny day in Port Townsend. The wind is strong and salty, coming off the Sea of Cortan. Some clouds are forming far across the water, but otherwise the sky is clear. It is June 21st, the summer solstice. The beaches of Port Townsend are filled with folk of all walks of life, gathered to celebrate the occasion. Merchants have set up stalls on the grass. They serve an assortment of colorful food and drink. You are adventurers. Find yourselves among these crowds, cast into the chaos. I ask you now, what has brought you here?
Well, Myrth likes the party. He likes the revel. He likes the drink, and he likes to show off just a little bit.
Danyan is enjoying the entertainment, so to speak. He loves when people are imbibing and carousing, and they make such tempting targets for his razor wit. It's hard to pass up such ready and abundant entertainment.
You see like a tiny, cloaked rag sort of situation. You don't know if there's something underneath it or not.
I hate this. I hate the sun. It's so bright and hurts my eyes. But
That voice is hysterical.
Myrth said he was going to be here, so here I am. My name is Gagh.
Yeah, it won't be hard to find Myrth. He's somewhat like a mix of an acrobat and like a magician when he's showing off. So like he'll be jumping up on top of like buildings and doing like parkour over houses or flipping around and doing daredevil kind of stuff. And so it won't be hard for you to find him amongst that. Plus he's going to be like shouting and probably doing all this while drinking a flagon of ale.
Oh gosh, okay. I guess while you if I can find a spot where I'm following, imagine you're jumping rooftop to rooftop and I'm just looking at you and I'm trying to follow you and figure out where the heck I'm supposed to talk to you or get you alone for 5 seconds.
Yeah. So
I do say, good sir, Myrth, I'm over here, you horned devil. Come down here and have a drink with me. Oh, my word. Oh, I haven't seen you and your furry behind in too long. Come here.
yeah, Myrth is a satyr and he clops along on the cobblestones into the field as he leaves the town center and goes into the fairgrounds. And he's like, "Oh, hi, Danyan. Nice to see you."
Oh, it's good to see you. I got
Great.
this fantastic wine from this gentleman over here. He's got a wee bit of a fizzle. And I tell you what, I think that this is going to be a wonderful time. I don't know if you know, but I get the feeling there'll be some pretty coins to be had here today. Not to mention plenty of revelers that can't hold their wine quite the way you do, Myrth. Are you ready to spread some joy?
That sounds like a plan. I have set up a 3-act routine to make sure everyone is nice and excited. Oh, it's going to be good.
Do you need some background music? I do have my viol with me.
Something exciting with quite a thumping beat.
He pulls out his bone white elven viol, which looks a little bit like halfway between a violin and a viola in terms of size. He pulls it out, grabs his bow from where it's hanging on his backpack, cracks his neck. All right, you say the word, I'll start playing.
And then Myrth jumps over. I guess he looks around. Let's see, what would there be? There would be like a solid.
Tables.
I'm looking for a solid structure, a table. Yeah, probably jump on top of a table.
There might be probably a picnic bench kind of thing.
Yeah, so
You
he'll
guys are
jump
kind
on
of in
top
like a
of the
big
table.
public park.
Yeah.
Public park.
Kind of by the beach. So it's
Sweet.
kind of a public beach with a park attached to it.
Okay. Are there some large trees?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there'd be.
All right. So yeah, I think
Not
you'll
probably not huge, but yeah.
He'll probably like jump up onto a tree branch that's like around 6 to 8 feet tall. Satyrs have an unusual capacity for making pretty large jumps. So he jumps up
Mhm.
there, hangs from it like a monkey, like break gates across it, and like just proclaims to all, "Hello, all, and welcome to the festival. It is nice to see you today. I am Myrth, and this is," he like hangs from one arm. "This is my friend Danian. He is quite the viola player. Let's everyone give him an applause." And
Oh, you don't. Oh, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate that.
Have you been playing the viol?
I was waiting for him to announce me, and then I would begin
Maybe.
playing first with like a really long note, kind of yep, just kind of fiddling along
Uh-huh.
to give him something to dance to,
Okay.
something
and
danceable.
then yeah, so and then Mirth will dance, but he'll be doing it while like brachiating while hanging from the arm from the tree, rather than like his feet will be like dangling along like a marionette as he's like brachiating along the limb of the tree and like does a flip down and then does some like tumbles and somersaults and then starts like grabbing some, I don't know, like apples off a table and juggling it and then like
Okay.
tossing them to the back to the people and stuff like that. Just
Can I get a performance check from both of you, probably with advantage for each of you?
With
cool.
advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, performance. That's a 19 plus 5. It's a 24.
Jeez.
Okay.
I did not quite do just as well, but I got 18. That's not bad, right?
Mhm.
I'm very practiced.
All right. You guys are getting a bit of a crowd. People are it's about like 3 in the afternoon. People have already had a drink or two. They're definitely into it. It's a very kind of free, it's summer solstice, so it's a bit more naturey folk there. Lots of kind of fey creatures, and they're definitely digging the tune and the jig. Um,
Mirth, you feel a little gentle tug on like the tufts of your fur or cloak or whatever.
Oh, hello there, little child. How are you? Are
Oh,
you
Mirth,
wanting?
Mirth, Mirth, it's me. It's Gagh.
And I pull back the hood to reveal a little purple kobold.
Oh, I could not forget that purple scales.
Oh,
How
you,
did you fare?
uh, excellent. Look at what I can do now.
And I kind of just wave my hand a little bit, and a shower of sparks comes out of my hand as I cast prestidigitation. And I will say that incorrectly at least 3 times every week.
I think you got
Well,
it right.
that is quite. Yeah, that sounds about
yeah.
right. Press the
The
digitation.
There's gonna be a handful of people in the crowd who are also gonna like see that, and it's gonna be kind of like a wave that starts. And anyone who's got prestidigitation as a cantrip, and a good number of these people are magically inclined, at least for cantrips. They're gonna like woo, and they're gonna shoot up some sparks, kind of thing.
Oh
This
shit,
is
I didn't
really helping
expect
my
that.
performance. I'm gonna increase
Yeah,
the tempo by like 10 beats per minute. It's gonna go from a little to now.
you'd probably get some other people dancing with that. Some people would jump in.
Yeah, I'll
Mirth,
cast minor illusion to like get a drum beat going along with it.
the
Awesome.
ring, it gave me powers.
Oh, is that so? Hmm. I thought it was something special. I saw those runes on the side, not an ordinary ring.
Here, it is excellent ring. Some might even call it precious.
I was going to say that accent is very close to what I use for my golem.
I
So
would
Very,
u- I
very
would say,
very
apropos.
yeah.
smeagly.
I'm trying to figure out if it's more
My
sneakily or
precious.
more like Stitch or something. I can't
Mm.
tell.
Yeah. Either
As
way.
Daniel's playing, he's gonna call out to the side. You just sound like a friend I once had. A short little guy. He was very fascinated with fishes. I don't know. I haven't seen him in years, honestly. Something about a mountain. Who knows? What was that man's name? Um, I'm gonna purposely fail my intelligence check to remember.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, good.
who
I
cares?
think
Was
was it Steve?
That sounds right. I remember a Steve. He used to live in a mountain and liked to have sushi. He was very into the sushi. Fresh
Oh
fish
yes,
sashimi was very good.
culinary genius. Although I always was worried that eventually I get to touch his finger. He loved those knives too much. Anyways, back to the flaying. And Daniel stops looking at you and looks over towards the crowd and starts walking kind of towards the crowd, a little into them. And you could, he's kind of nodding to people and doing his thing and moving as he goes to kind of move with the crowd, see what people have going on.
Yeah, so as you guys are playing, can I actually get, from the two of you performing, can I get a
Hmm.
constitution check?
Okay,
Absolutely.
Constitution check.
A
Yeah.
saving throw?
Not a saving throw, just a check.
Okay,
Just
I mean,
well that's a 21.
jeez.
that's
I'm
a
just getting lucky
17.
with two high rolls.
Quite.
What a way to start a campaign, eh?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay, so
I
you
have a
guys,
reasonably high constitution for a wizard, so
good. That's basically just you guys are keeping this up until the kind of festivities start. You get a good, solid performance. You don't lose the crowd. And then they will eventually start petering off once you guys finish the performance and the crowd goes wild. And then you'll see Gnome sets up a bit of a booth and is kind of setting up right as you're going. He starts putting on a couple of kegs. He's pulling out of his wagon just tons and tons of alcohol. Lots of kind of obscure stuff. He's pulling out garnishes and all sorts of vials of things that you wouldn't really necessarily think would go into cocktails. But he's starting to form a bit of a bar there. And people start, you finish your set and then everyone's applauding and they go to start lining up for these drinks that he's got starting to form.
So with the bar, I want to ask if he has bottled drinks.
Bottled drinks?
Yeah,
He
like
wouldn't
is
have
it
any here.
like wine or anything like that?
Oh, he would have hard liquor in bottles, but he's not really serving that to people. He's using that to make cocktails, and he has kegs of ale. I mean, yeah, he would have a keg of wine, but he wouldn't have bottles of wine just available.
You
cool.
can see Dan kind of look, and then as soon as he realizes there's nothing small enough for him to quietly swipe, looks a little dejected.
Yeah, I just had an idea, and I think I'm gonna go with it. So Myrth is a satyr. He's got horns. Actually, no, he's more of a deer. Oh, dang. I was thinking he's gonna unscrew one of his horns and use it as a wine glass, having lost one in the past, but
How
he's
fancy.
more of a like a fawn, so his horns aren't quite so big.
So he's starting to kind of lay out. You can see that he's got kegs of ale, but they're not really the prize. You can see everyone is walking away with some more kind of fancy drinks that just really seem out of place. So these kinds of drinks would definitely fit in a smaller horn. You wouldn't need like a big wineskin for it. So what he's serving would be closer to shot size for a couple ounces.
Danyan's going to move forward to talk to the gentleman. Oh, good sir. I wouldn't suppose you have some wine underneath that table. It's not anything in particular against ale, but I do prefer wine usually in most cases.
Oh, I've got maybe a bottle somewhere around here. He's gonna clink around with the glasses. What
Uh,
would
what,
brandy do?
uh, Wine that's spent a little bit too much time around fire? Yes, why not? It's made from grapes, nonetheless.
All right. He's going to pour you a glass of brandy, but he's just gonna keep adding little like peppercorns and orange peels and things. He's gonna take a little vial of. It looks like there's vapor inside of it. He's gonna pour that on top. It's gonna kind of start clouding over the top. He's gonna grind a bit of cinnamon in there, and then he's gonna hand that to you. Very flourished.
Good lord. Well, it's not elvish, and honestly, it doesn't even smell like brandy anymore. But you know what? It's a special
Well,
day. I might as well. Here's to you, Briar. Another year apart. And he throws it back really aggressively, swishes it around his mouth, and then tries to take a swallow before turning it over on the table.
So it's gonna. I got a couple questions, or just a couple things.
Go for it.
One, it's gonna taste very smooth. He's gonna have basically with the things that he's added to it, they're pairing in a way that makes it taste like closer to wine than brandy otherwise would. He's added a sweetness to it. He's made it seem as close to like the elvish wine that you're kind of imagining. So that's going to be a bit surprising. Also, how much does your character drink typically?
The question is, how much is normal for drinking in your setting?
mhm.
Are we on
I guess
historical levels of like one drink of alcohol a day on average for the average human being, or are we
more
talking
like
about?
what's the maximum your character has? Like, have they
Okay, he
gotten blackout drunk? Have they only, gotten very drunk? Do they
they
typically
like to
only
get
drink one at most?
just they like to get just ever so gently past the tipsy stage, not quite drunk. They feel in a matter of professional dignity not to get fully drunk as a thief. Best to
Okay,
know what you're stealing without without forgetting what you've stolen.
right.
Sophisticatedly
Um,
tipsy.
and then where is Mirth on this scale?
Oh, back home, keggers are like a weekly thing, and getting blackout drunk is the established norm. However, Mirth is slightly a bit more reserved. He doesn't mind getting completely sloshed and passing out, but he will reserve that for special occasions where the rest of his people tend to just like go all out.
Okay.
When
Um,
they gotta make use of that resistance
so
to alcohol.
Mhm.
all right. So basically, this is and Mike's gotten a taste of this. I've got some special rules prepared for drinking and
Hit me.
intoxication. And I'm basically it works like a exhaustion condition where there's levels. And I'm trying to figure out how many levels do your characters know? So there are 6 levels like exhaustion, but you guys probably it sounds like only know, 3 or 4 of them that you've encountered. So,
He wouldn't
um
if 6 is dying, he wouldn't be that far, but
6
he would
is 6 is
certainly
taking damage.
taking damage, like
Six is a
damaging your liver.
college kegger with no less than 85 proof alcohol at any time.
Yeah,
I
6
think.
6 is might have passed out of this.
Yeah, Mirth would have I mean, that's probably like a once a month thing for him.
Mhm.
Like, the revels happen back in his hometown, and most people are passed out the next day. He only does that, like, once a month on somebody's birthday or something like that.
Mhm. Right,
He's
some special occasion, but
special
you've been there.
occasions. Yeah.
Alright.
With while you do that with a gentlemanly bearing that Danyan brings, he tries to maintain his his gentility. However, there is occasional times when he will just go ahead and let it go, like today, his anniversary, and he's feeling especially lonesome since it's now been 4 years since he's been with his wife since he was exiled.
Okay. So,
Mm,
See it?
can you each make a constitution save for me?
sure.
Constitution. 9.
Oh, 7 or 19. I'm rolling hot.
Okay.
You are
So,
rolling hot.
then you are fine, you're still at 0. levels, but Matt, you are starting to feel the first level. So you now have advantage on strength and charisma checks.
Good sir, this might be the most enjoyable thing I have drank since my wedding. Could I get one in a slightly larger glass? I wish you enjoyed in more than one sip at a time.
Oh yeah, I just want to make sure you liked it. Here, you get back in line. I got a couple other people coming up, but
Oh,
then
well, uh,
when you come
are
around,
you
I'll get you the full one.
are you certain I can't encourage you to to take pity on a poor exiled husband missing his wife?
He's gonna look at the
You
length of the
see,
line.
it's been 4 years since I was unfortunately kicked out of Sendra, and honestly, I'm not entirely certain it was my fault. But, you know, 4 years, it being my anniversary and all, it's been some time since I've talked with my wife. Oh, Bryra, I do miss you so. If I give you two
Um,
silver, what can you give me right now?
can you make a persuasion check now with advantage?
I might just switch dice. This might be a little unfair. I rolled a 19, and my persuasion is +5, so that's a 24.
All right.
I will switch
Yeah, he
dice.
will. He'll take your money. He does look kind of saddened by your story, and he's like, "Man, everyone should be happy on summer solstice." So sure, I'll get you a tall one.
While he's
And
preparing this drink, he sees this satyr just standing behind his bar, starting to mix drinks and just helping out just without even being invited. He kind of looks over. The gnome would look over and he'd be like, "Hello there," and
are
he's
you
already serving
making?
drinks to other customers.
Okay, you're serving to other people. I love it.
Yeah,
Okay, can you make a performance check for me?
that would be yes.
Do you have proficiency in nature or anything that might be kind of helping you here?
I have proficiency in alchemist supplies, arcana,
Okay.
and history. Yeah. So I mean,
All
I
right.
I figure. I mean, he's not proficient in brewer's supplies, but he has the basics. Being
Yeah,
an
yeah,
alchemist, I think you would understand
alchemy will
that.
definitely help. So you can do it with alchemy and you can use your intelligence for it if you're
Cool. That is my best stat.
I had a
All right.
feeling.
Oh wow. Okay. So 16 plus 6, so 22.
Okay. Yeah, you're making drinks, you're even kind of keeping up with speed, identifying, the things that you're using. Might need to taste a few. They aren't really, they're kind of obscure, some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely helping out behind the bar. He's appreciating it. He's kind of like,
Yeah.
you'll reach for like a vial and he'll kind of wince, and then you'll like reach for another one. And he'll kind of like give you like a nod that
Yeah. Mirth
you're
would
doing the
take
right
his
thing.
lead and follow. I mean, he's a studious person. He likes to learn from other people, but he
Right.
also likes to just dive in and like get messy and
Yeah,
so
they're definitely helping
he's
out.
yeah.
You're picking up a few things. You as you do it, you can tell that like he's keeping less and less of an eye on you and just kind of like letting you do your thing. Once he gives you a couple pointers and then sees that you're kind of reaching for the right things, he's like, okay.
Yeah. And
Um,
then, as people are like handing money, I'm gonna use like sleight of hand to just like do like funny things, like put their change falls down from their ear, or like out of their hair, or like into their drinks, or it just kind of I don't know, like I flip a coin up in the air, hand them a drink, and then the coins land right in the drink and stuff like that.
all right. Yeah,
This
they're
gentleman is quite
enjoying it.
studious, as you can imagine. Oh, this is good stuff. Oh my. I
Okay,
wish
and
I'd
then
had this for my wedding. It would have been quite a sight. He's drinking it
And
like
then
it's wine, even though it's brandy. So
okay,
he's not being slow
all right.
because it tastes like wine.
Then I need you to make 2 Constitution saves.
I think the next drink that Mirth makes for Danyan, he's gonna use like firebolt to light it on fire to burn off some of the alcohol before he takes a drink.
I got a
Okay,
10 and a 3.
ooh, all right. So you now are on the 3rd level. You've got
Ooh.
disadvantage on Constitution saving throws, but a +4 or plus 1d4 to attack melee attack rolls.
You're
My
reckless.
word.
So yeah, you're getting up there. Now your con saves are with disadvantage, so it's kind of a
All downhill from here.
all
And this
downhill
is
from
why it's a
here.
good thing my veil is indestructible by conventional means. Because I
Yes.
take it out and start playing a very sad love song to myself. Just very like Paganini done a little bit slower. Just very aggressive and lonesome.
And yeah,
And it's not good because my dexterity's starting to suffer. But I'm sad now.
yeah. As you're, I think as you're doing this, a jet black raven swoops down and lands on your shoulder. You probably recognize it as Wit, Myrth's familiar, and it starts mocking, like doing a crying, mocking sound.
You
Um,
hear that? Oh, I've been mocked by my own wit.
Well, he's like being sympathetically like weeping,
Bryra.
um,
Ugh.
you
and
know,
it starts
people
nibbling at your ear.
people are in a festive mood, and they are getting a bit, bummed out by
Bummed
the
out.
tune.
I'm just going up to random passerby and trying to tell them my backstory at this point as I'm starting to get a little bit too social. Have I ever told you about why I was exiled from Sendra? It's terrible. Terrible story. It involves lies, insults, name calling, and unfortunately death. Not mine. But yeah. So it was this one time. And
And
I'll start
then
telling the story quietly to
yeah,
some passerby.
and as you're doing that, Mirth would cast minor illusion to like make the sound of a viola playing off in the distance, like not too far away, but like something maybe challenging, and then you'd say, "Hey, Danian, sounds like there's another viola player challenging you to viola off." And it's like a really upbeat tune. He's trying to like engage
Can
Danian
you
in
make it?
something a little bit more
Can you make a
happy and
sleight of hand
revelly.
check?
Sure, I can do that.
It also be
Uh,
deception, I guess.
20
20. All right,
with my mods. They're dirty 20. I could do a
sure.
deception. I'm not as good as that. Got
Hey, I'm
So
not the DM
I'm more
anymore.
trying to see if anyone notices that this is a spell versus you're actually
Oh,
being convincing.
they play well.
you going to let him show you up?
It's hard to be joyous this time. If only he was playing. I wonder if he wouldn't mind playing. Like, I need to play something sad. Oh, I kind of want to know.
What do you
Can I make
got?
an insight check to determine if I can figure out if this is Mirth trying to help me out, or if I actually think it's the old player?
Sure. Yeah, you can make an insight check. And then Mike, you can just kind of set your
Make a
own DC.
deception.
You can just depending
Oh.
on what he rolls, you can decide if he gets it or not. Kind
I
of how
rolled
hard are you
17.
trying to?
Well,
Yeah,
convince
I
him?
didn't roll
that'll do it.
disadvantage. I didn't roll disadvantage. Hang on. Yeah, that will work better than the natural 20 I just rolled.
Yeah. So I mean,
What's
it's
with my
obvious.
dice?
It's minor illusion. I mean, it's like hearing something probably it's not
You've got an eye for
live
an ear
music.
for the music.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Like listening to an MP3.
It's kind of a couple
Yeah.
notes at a time.
yeah. Or anyways,
It's
yeah,
it's skipping as you
it's obvious
recast
that it's
every
magical in nature. It's not like a living, breathing piece of music. Cool.
All right. So are you still trying to play sad songs, and are you trying to do that to like interact with the crowd, or
At
just
this point,
just
I'm
to be
just.
sad?
At this point, I'm losing a tiny bit. Since I'm imbibed this much, I'm losing a little bit of my gentlemanly demeanor. And I've instead kind of regressed a little bit towards a guy who's lonely because he hasn't seen his wife in 4 years.
You're full wallowing. Got it.
I'm on the verge of true open sorrow at this point.
All right. So I'm gonna make a perception. I mean, no, he is just being so completely
Yeah,
obvious and
he
overt. I
is.
don't think I need to make a
No,
perception
you
check or
are aware
insight to
of
figure
what he
this out.
is. Yeah.
All right. So I mean, partway through mixing a drink, Mirth sees this. He kind of tosses the drink up in the air and then just walks off. And it just so happens to land down in somebody's hand, sloshes a bit. And he like walks over and just like picks Daniel off the ground somewhere, points at another nearby musician, and like gestures him for something upbeat, and just starts like taking Daniel up and doing a dance, like getting him like
Okay.
dancing around, or tries to drag him out
Okay.
to do it.
Uh-huh. Can you
I'm not going to resist him pulling me away.
I could make a persuasion.
Yeah, I
As an
mean, if
old
he's not
friend
resisting,
trying
if
to
he's
cheer me
trying to
up.
be cheered up, then that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
I
know,
don't like being aggressively sad. It's just, it comes
just
on so
is
strong
expressively sad.
sometimes.
Uh,
Oh, Byron.
so there's a tiefling that's gonna kind of see that you're sad, see that you've been drinking a bit, and she's gonna
Probably
walk
touch me or
over.
something.
She's gonna say, you know, you cricket's cocktails are amazing, but they're not what you need when you're sad. This, you know, that they're great for a happy time, they're great for a party, but if you're sad, you know, you need something different than that. And you know, I got something that might help cheer you up. Would you be interested in that?
Do you know anything Elvish? I need a song from home.
You know, if you have enough of this, you might hear a song from home. She's gonna pull out a it's gonna look kind of like a ginger root, but she's gonna shave off a bit of it under her palm and hand it to you to kind of ingest if you'd like.
Can I make an
Ooh,
alchemy check or a nature check or something to see if I recognize what this is?
Yes, make a nature check. Either of you can.
I'm not proficient, but I have a +1.
Yeah, 23. I am hot
Um,
tonight. I'm gonna retire
I'm
this
just
dice because it's not fair.
Daniel's like
But
reaching for it slowly.
okay, so you definitely believe that this is gonna make you happy. And Mirth, you would know that this is you probably have seen this around. It's basically like a hallucinogenic. It's kind of like it's maybe a little bit stronger than weed, but not much. This is that kind of festival.
so it's a good recreational drug,
Good
not
recreational drug.
not a
Not
harmful one.
not any worse than alcohol.
Okay.
Though, can you make another nature check?
Or
18.
yeah. y-
You would know that mixing this with alcohol can be a bit more potent than otherwise having it.
All right. So as like he's going to put it in his mouth, Mirth will like tear half of it off, so like reduce the dose,
Okay.
and then just like pop it in
What'd you
his
do
mouth,
that for? What'd you do that for?
and then like just like flick the other half into his mouth, like just yeah, like tear the half and then slap the rest of it into his face,
Okay.
so he doesn't hesitate and just ingests it.
All right.
I don't even know
You
if he
do
would
that?
notice. Like he would do it just
Ugh.
subtly, like
All right.
Ugh, I
Um
hate ginger.
then
Uh,
can you
ew.
make a wisdom saving throw with advantage? You're being helped.
17.
All right. So you get the, you know, you feel it a bit. It's definitely making you feel better, but you're not getting any negative side effects. You're not really getting any like major mechanical effects. Just the, you know, things are looking a little prettier and you're feeling a little better.
Cool.
Oh, that's good, ginger. Thought I
Is
didn't like ginger.
is that
Oh,
making you
my.
feel better?
Mm.
Yeah.
I know where you get your ginger, but play me a song, friend.
Oh,
You and my other
I don't.
horn devil here seem to be conspiring to help me recover.
Oh, I don't play much. Are you gonna do anything with that other half? That's just, the stuff isn't all that cheap.
Oh no, he immediately put it in his mouth. He didn't hesitate. He just like,
All right. Can you also make a wisdom saving throw?
sure. I had already rolled one when I thought you were asking me. It was
Oh, sorry.
16. With
Okay.
advantage or not advantage? Because with
Not
not advantage,
advantage
it
for
would be
you.
less. Oh,
All you missed,
I
Jacob,
got
is
a nat
that
one.
Danyan is drunk
You
and
got a nat
sad because
one.
he's missing his wife.
Yeah.
All
So,
right. Okay, so you get
with
to start
nothing.
experiencing the other. So you now have advantage on dex and intelligence checks.
Okay. Advantage on dex
And
intelligence.
have
Woo.
1 level of hallucination.
Myrth, where's your small friend? They looked like they could use some cheering up too. You, where are you? You're literally behind him. He just hasn't noticed because he
Oh,
hasn't turned around.
I'm here, Daniel.
Oh,
Oh, hello, little
oh,
one. Do you need some too?
Oh, um, I don't know.
Yes, he does. And he'll like or take off a little slice and stuff it in his mouth.
Yeah, she's
Like an appropriate sized dose.
uh-huh. All right.
I sniff it and then I lick it, and then assuming nothing horrible happens, I'll eat it.
Yep. Nothing horrible happens. Tastes vaguely gingery. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
We're working.
Normal or advantage?
Normal.
Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. My first roll is a good one. 22.
All right.
hey,
So then, yeah, you're not feeling any effects. You're just, seeing things look a little prettier.
This is lovely. Thank you.
Need to loosen up every now and then.
So what brings y'all through here? Are you guys all like? Would you be dressed in a way that would kind of fit in, or would you be kind of visibly foreigners / tourists?
Danyan is visibly not from this area because he's wearing his leather. What
Right,
is it
he's
called?
got quite
It's called
the
as a jerkin. It looks like a fancy vest, but it's actually a set of leather armor covers his torso, and he has
okay.
a nice but not like fancy coat that he's kind of put around it, kind of a short cloak that hangs down. So he looks foreign. He doesn't look like an average tourist, though. He looks like a general traveler.
Okay.
Gagh definitely looks like he doesn't belong in this summary area. He's basically wearing,
Right.
like how Bruno wore like the big and Kanto wore like the
For the big
big
puffy
kind of
jacket.
poncho with the hood. That's
Yeah.
basically what I have, but it's
All
probably
right.
fashioned out of like a floor mat or something.
A potato sack.
Yeah, basically. I was trying to keep out of the sun and light as much as possible.
Myrth's pretty much naked. He's got furry legs. He's got a little bit of he's got a loincloth on, just kind of
For the children.
around on his midsection because he realizes that, the people who don't live amongst satyrs, like conventional people likes to cover up their private
Yeah.
parts. And he's like, he doesn't really understand it, but he's sympathetic. But he has like a long scarf. It's kind of that it goes around his neck and then goes down to his knees about, and it's kind of almost a like a Mayan kind of yellows and reds and greens in like this these patterns and stuff there on the
Okay.
scarf. So yeah.
And
It's not quite Tumnus style.
this is such a mirth party.
Yeah.
So you guys will notice that,
He's a summer boy.
especially the furrier races, the ones with hairs and coats, they have in particular kind of shed all of their clothing, and a lot of them are swimming. There are some other people just skinny dipping in the water, but particularly the furrier types are embracing the natural celebration that you guys are at. There's definitely flowers in people's
Oh.
hair, and
Oh yeah, Murph's gonna go streaking later for sure.
that's definitely part of the celebration.
Yeah.
Danyan feels a decided need for catharsis, and he's gonna start glancing around, trying to figure out if there's a wrestling area or some other other sort of physical activity around. He's not doing a particularly good job of it since he's a little A little tipsy at this point.
You know, people are pretty laid back here. They are enjoying the sun. I think there's there's no real sign of physical altercation or kind of macho-ness. You kind of get the vibe that that would be frowned upon in these circles.
If Danyan was like looking for this visit or talking about it visibly, Myrth would kind of would be open to it. He's up for a challenge. He likes to get into trouble and doesn't really care what other people think. But I think he would offer it more as like a wrestling match, like no weapons, just kind of like
Mhm.
tumbling about in the dirt.
All right.
Do the satyrs consider that a form of aggressive hugging?
Um,
Probably not quite, not sumo, right?
no, well, I mean, if they're
I
super
could see
drunk and they're just
satyrs.
kind of like there's probably a competition much like sumo wrestling with where there's a circle and they've got horns, right? So they just like ram each other when they're really drunk, but like no one ever hits. They just kind of like because they're so drunk, they just like are like running towards each other, but then like just fall out of the circle. And it's really like who's the last person to fall out. Not because they're like attacking each other, but because they're so drunk. They're just
Uh-huh.
trying to stay inside.
All
It's
right.
like balancing on a beam or
Um,
something like that.
okay, so if you look around a bit, you will see some kind of tougher looking folk. Think you probably see a handful of dwarves that are looking a bit more rowdy. They're kind of yelling at each other more, talking real loud. And they seem to you like they might be persuaded into a friendly altercation.
I'm going to go fight the dwarves. I need to get this out of my system. I need to get my mind focused. And Myrth, you know the best way to get my mind focused is with a good brawl. A little TLC for the old melon up top. You know what I mean? Do me a favor. Don't let me hurt anyone too badly. Okay? If the blade comes out, stop me. I don't want to kill anyone when I get started. You know me. Once I get going, sometimes it's hard to stop.
Well, why don't you just give me your blade then?
Yeah.
Preemptively?
I can't
M-
keep it. Oh man.
Mirth, can you make a history check?
Sure. I am actually really good at history, but I rolled really bad. So I got, well, it ends up being a 10.
Well, you've
Okay.
been imbibing as well.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, I get
Drunk
advantage on
history.
intelligence checks, don't I? Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not
you're a
much
bit
better.
high.
That was actually the same. No, 12. It's 12 this time.
Okay.
It's a 6 instead.
D&D
That
drunk history, ladies and gentlemen.
so
Yeah.
you would know enough that dwarves and elves are pretty at odds historically. You know, that that cliche definitely holds true in this setting.
Even though
And
Danyan's a human, just wearing elvish clothing.
yeah, they would that is good to remind me of. So you're human elvish clothing. Okay. Good. So they're gonna try to kill.
Not outright. They might be
Like, wait a
offended by my
second.
existence, but not kill
Yeah,
me
so
outright.
they would see your affiliation, and that would pique their eye. They'd see that you're not an elf, so they wouldn't be like too disgusted by you, but they would see that you're kind of affiliated with them, and that would definitely get them excited about this brawl. They might otherwise just kind of laugh you off, like, "All right, oh, I could I could go for a tussle. This party was getting a bit boring for us, anyways, don't you think,
All right.
boys?"
My good dwarven says, I am Danyan Silverleaf of the Sindar and Silverleafs. At your disposal, I guess. I'm in need of a bout of fisticuffs, if you would. And I would like to wonder if you would like to engage in a tiny bit of catharsis with me.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm up.
purposely
What?
using large words.
Yeah. So what? Standard rules?
I don't know what dwarven standard rules are, but sure.
No weapons, ale between rounds, and first one down's it's down.
Could I have brandy instead? Matter of principle. Don't drink ale. Don't like me.
They're gonna look at you like something's up. Like,
Oh, fine, I'll drink the ale. So Daniel's gonna take out his 2 daggers and hand them over to Myrth. He's gonna take his crossbow off from where it's hanging just underneath his cloak and hand it to Myrth.
it's pretty warm there. They're gonna take off their like all their top. They're gonna take off their shirt, their coats and things. You get the sense that you don't have to like fully undress, but you can, you know, straps and things on your outside might not help you in this game.
Well, Daniel would lose his outer cloak but keep his
Yeah.
jerkin. He
Sure.
might take off the shirt underneath it, just get a little extra mobility.
Right.
But as a
Also,
rogue, he does not trust his own durability.
Also, just FYI, I don't really follow I kind of assume that even if you don't have your armor on, you still have the same armor class, unless it's like plate. Just
He
FYI.
still would keep his jerkin on.
Yeah.
He's looking at these dwarves and their arms and going, "This is gonna hurt." Good.
All right.
Are we doing these? Are we doing the D4 divided by 2 rule, or are we doing the flat 1 point of damage plus modifier? What are we doing?
So
Strength
you mean for the
damage,
Yeah, for
alcohol rules?
no, for the
No.
attacking,
brawling.
the brawling.
I mean, it's going to be unarmed strikes, which is, I believe, just like
It's
one
a
hit
flat
point.
1 plus your strength.
Yeah, plus your strength.
This is gonna be
Yeah, so
slow.
it'll
This
just
is-
be 1 hit point plus your strength. There might be some other things, going on, but because it's going to be like wrestling and stuff too. It'll be a bit more grappling focus.
Ooh, fun.
So, but first they're going to see that you are visibly more drunk than the other guy. So they're going to let you pass on the first round of ale, and he's going to throw back some ale. Let me make a roll
Oh,
for
good.
him.
Let's see. No, please keep care of my cane. I don't want to lose it. You know what I mean? I purposely hand it to him. Shaft first.
All right.
Okay.
He takes it, and then like he's got this huge pile of like weapons and stuff, and he just throws them on the ground. Clink, 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 clink. And then he's paying attention to the fight.
Who says go?
You'll
And
see
then Myrth
the
says go.
Can you roll initiative?
Ouch. That's a 9. That
Okay.
drunkenness is happening.
Do you have a good dex? Is that
My
that-
dexterity is 18.
I mean, is 9 with your dexterity? Or did you roll
Yeah.
9? Oh gosh.
9
okay.
with my initiative modifier.
All right. So he's gonna go first. He's gonna hear the go, and you're gonna see his eyes light up like he's ready for it. And he is gonna kind of charge you, and he's gonna try to punch you in the gut.
Ooh,
Natural 2, so that's just not gonna hit.
probably not.
So you'll still kind of swing wide enough for him to you'll be able to react fast enough to that.
I'm drunk. I'm not stupid. See him coming. Just gonna step to the side. He is actually a lot shorter than me, so I have a little bit of mobility on him.
Yep.
I'm gonna just use the fact that I have height to my advantage and try and knee him in the face.
Okay.
A little dirty, I know. So I have plus 1d4 to attack bonuses since I'm kind of inebriated.
You do.
Okay. This is with strength.
Yes.
Okay. 18 plus 4 is a 22.
That'll hit.
Let me put that dice aside for the moment. Okay. And so the thing is, it's 1 point of damage, but I have a -1 to strength. So is that just gonna be a flat 1, or am I gonna actually deal 0 damage?
No, that minimum 1.
Okay. Because I'm a character sheet, I'm looking at it, it says 0, and I'm like, oh no.
No, that'll be 1 hit point.
The dwarf barely flinches.
You slap him in the
he's-
face. Plop. It's got a red
Um,
welt.
Yeah. All right. Then he's gonna kind of grapple you. And so he's gonna make a strength check.
6.
He had a natural 20. So
Could
he's-
could I attempt to evade with acrobatics instead?
Oh yeah, you can try dex.
All right, I'll keep my original roll. So then it's a 7 plus 6. You still won't make it, but for RPing reasons, I wanted to say I got a 13.
Yeah, you almost weasel out. But he, with his natural 20, he's gonna pick you up, and you're really kind of thrown off because he's so much shorter than you.
I try and jump over him and he catches me.
Yeah, and he's gonna pick you up and throw you to the ground. So you're gonna be prone, and he's gonna do 3 damage to you. His buddies are gonna cheer. Like, oh yeah, you're good. I'm glad to go. Gronk.
Ah, you knocked me down, did you? Mm.
He's gonna kind of back up a bit too, and kind of like let you stand up and kind of bask in his glory a bit.
As I go to stand up, I'm going to grab a fistful of dirt, stand up,
Okay.
and say, "Ugh, you hit hard. How do you do blind?" I'm going to chuck the dirt into his face.
All right.
How would
Gonna
you
make it.
adjudicate that?
Gonna have him make a dex save. He is not gonna make it, so you're gonna have advantage on attacks for a little bit.
All right. And while he's blinded, I'm just going to step 2 steps to the right, hoping that he'll charge where I used to be and get out of his. And so he whiffs past me.
Okay. Oh, I like it. Can you make a
Stealth roll.
Yeah, let's go stealth.
See if he hears me.
Yeah.
I'm so inebriated right now. That's a 9.
All right, so he's you make a deception check for me.
Deception check. Yes, sir. Coming right up. 12. 15.
15. Okay. So he is going to kind of charge where you were. And he's gonna swing at you, but he's not really like on the right mark. He's kind of like, the square next to you, and he kind of throws out an arm to like grab you, but it's just gonna kind of punch at you. Okay, he's still gonna hit.
Okay.
So that'll be another 3 HP.
Okay.
And then,
Clips me.
you're now bloodied. So,
Yeah. You could say that.
yeah. They're gonna
I got a bruise growing. It's really good.
Yeah, one of the dwarves is gonna call out, "All right, end of round 1," and the dwarf you're fighting is gonna step back, and they're gonna hand both of you big pints of ale.
Is this where I get to use my 1 hit dice?
Sure, I'll let you take a hit die.
Oh, yes, I rolled the 8. Okay.
Awesome.
So how much damage did you get to this dwarf?
I only hit him once.
You hit him once.
I hit him once, and
For
I decided to try and
1?
stun him. Yeah, for 1.
Let
One.
me- Okay.
Because the thing is, I have little strength, and since I'm inebriated, I also don't have the greatest wisdom in the world. You
He's
should have thought over the fact that they're dwarves.
He's making a medicine check. He rolled a natural 18, so he's going to lose the effects of the sand. He's kind of rubbing his eyes sufficiently. Can you make a constitution save? Still with disadvantage.
Still at disadvantage. 6.
Okay, so you get another level of intoxication.
Hot dang! So I'm charmed by one or more nearby creatures.
So you are who is near?
Hello there.
You are
Hmm.
now charmed by him. So
Do we have to fight? I mean, now I think about it, you're quite a lovely person. I almost said human being, but you're not. You're a lovely person, and I'd hate to ruin that wonderful face. I think we could be friends.
can you make a perception or a persuasion check? I believe still with advantage.
13.
Is there popcorn being served anywhere?
Is there corn?
there'd be there's some street vendors. They've got popcorn, they've got caramel corn, they've got a couple other colors of
You can
kind of candied
caramel corn?
corns.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. They've got all sorts of colors of popcorns. So
All
pick,
right, so
pick your favorite color.
So you see like just a purple clawed hand put like 2 silver on higher. I'm assuming it's higher than he is because he's only 2 feet.
Yeah, it's about your
Um,
height.
and so he's gonna put the like coins on there and then just grab a bag and pull it off,
Okay.
and then
Is there a color
join
you
them.
want in particular?
Oh, uh, uh, purple?
Yeah.
Working.
It's very springtime. Have we gathered any sort of crowd at this point?
Yeah, it's again, not everyone's cup of tea here. You've got some people definitely keeping an eye, but you're not like, you don't have crowd cheering for anyone in particular. Just kind of, you're also getting a couple looks like, uh, a couple looks
Oops.
from people who'd like you to quiet down, move along. People are, yeah, just there are a couple people who are kind of
Go
regretting sitting this
Daniel!
close to the dwarves.
Yay, Daniel! Yay!
And with that
I
persuasion
imagine.
check, that is enough for the dwarves. It's like, oh, you're all right, mate. It's good fighting. I got you pretty good with some of those.
Oh, so sure. I'll wake up in the morning having it's gonna be pretty, I swear. Look, come here, come here, come here. You need a hug. Come here. Don't you run. Come back.
Um,
I will find you. You can't. Oh, you're a fast little dude, aren't you?
yeah, I
Moving
mean,
in this
I
direction.
kind of picture you just kind of slumping down with the dwarves for a bit, and they're gonna kind of go back. Like it's cute because they're like these kind of tougher looking dwarves, but they're still like have a full picnic blanket with like a spread of cheese and like they've got a platter. They're definitely still here to just enjoy the sun. Um,
Have I told you, gentlemen, about my banishment? So my wife Bryra, this is really the central focus of this story, and consequently
And
why I'm
Myrth just
inebriated.
grabs him and starts dragging him away.
Ooh, I wanted the exposition.
I think they've heard enough about.
No, it's a good story. As Myrth drags me away, I'm trying to resist a little bit. However, given how inebriated I am, and also the welts that are forming on my body, I get the feeling I'm not going to resist very effectively. And he's like he's effectively dragging me, but slowly.
I think as you get further away from the dwarves, your charm does just change to mirth. Where now you're just, you're always
You're
friendly,
always
but now you're
trying to
extra
keep me
friendly.
from getting killed. I appreciate it. I mean, you got those horns, but I swear you're a beautiful, beautiful creature. I don't care if you look like a goat. You've got a charm. Maybe a bit barnyard, but you got a charm. And plus, you bring such interesting friends. I never thought I'd meet a miniature dragonborn before. I didn't know they came in miniatures. Is your mother a
And
dwarf, or is that just an interesting fluke of your
I'm a,
parent? I'm
I'm a
sorry, my
miniature
manners.
dragon. Dragon, not dragonborn.
Pardon me, my manners seem to suffer when I drink. You know what? Give me a moment. And he runs over to the water without getting his clothes and just falls face first in the water for a second, stands up, shakes off. Okay, I'm feeling better. Okay.
Okay.
Where's my cane?
it's
Splashing
just
in
lying on the ground somewhere.
This thing
splashing
is elven Meg. It's beautiful. Why are you leaving it in the dirt? Picks it up. I was
It's a
basically
stick.
just belly flopping into it.
splashing in the water, can
Mirth.
you make a constitution save? Just if you're successful, you'll lose a level of drunkenness.
That's a 13.
Yeah, so you drop back down, you've lost your kind of getting charmed by whoever's nearby.
Mirth, this cane is not just a stick. First of all, it was crafted by the finest elven smiths. Second of all, he reaches down and he's gonna take the curved bit of the cane that he has, where it's kind of curved in this kind of interesting eagle in flight motif, except for the wings aren't out, they're tucked. You're gonna take it, snap it down flat, and pull out just 3 or 4 inches of the blade hidden inside of it. In case you forgot, Mirth, it's not a stick. Click, snap, back into its concealed form. He starts putting his daggers away, and
Yes, it's a fancy stick. And He picks up a stick on the ground and like just scrapes off the branches and walks around like he's being fancy like Danyan is with his stick, doing a little like caricature of him.
How old is Myrth?
Myrth is, I thought that he was going to be like 16, but because there's drinking in this campaign, I decided to up that to 21. Yeah.
Isn't Gagh like
8.
7, 8? Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
For a kobold, I think
But
that's about
kobolds
It's adult.
20-ish.
That's adult. That's adult.
kobolds start
Yeah.
drinking at like 2.
In this campaign, Danyan is like the college senior that's seen so much, and Mirth is like the freshman that is way too chipper in the morning.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I mean, for satyrs, like he's a baby. I mean, satyrs are fey creatures. They, theoretically could be
Right, they live
immortal,
for
or like
ever
very
and ever.
long lives. So,
Yeah,
he's still like a teenager
right.
in relative terms. He's a tween in relative
Um,
terms.
All right. So about this time, you guys are gonna notice 2 things. You're gonna notice, having kind of walked a bit down the beach to end up with these dwarves, you're gonna notice a cavern kind of so there's the ocean, the sand, the grassy area, and then a bit past that, there's kind of a sheer cliff wall. And you're gonna notice a kind of crack in that, and a small stream coming out of that crack, going into the water now that you're down this far. You're also gonna notice in the water, you're gonna hear some horns going, and you're gonna see some sailboats lining up. And you're gonna kind of gather that they're getting ready for a race.
Oh, I love races.
And you're gonna hear a bit kind of back toward where you were, someone calling out, place your bets, race is about to start. So someone is kind of collecting wagers on the sailboat race.
Where is he?
He's kind of back toward the trees, and then it's kind of a long, skinny beach and park along the beach. So people have spread out a bit, and it'd be a bit of a walk, but something you could do in a minute.
All right. Myrth doesn't really want to place bets, but caverns are always interesting.
Danyan's first instinct is to go and screw with the race, but he's also leaning a little heavily on his cane at the moment and doesn't really want to go too far from Mirth. So he's going to take 2 steps to turn around. Well, are we going to go and cause a bit of entertainment at the race, or are we going... What are you doing? Come on, we can go over here and cause trouble.
I don't know if you know this, but satyrs don't really like to get into the water, at least further than waist deep. It's unnatural to be floating on it. It's really strange. We do like leisurely floats down the river or in a lake, but the open sea is a little bit open.
Just so looking at the map as well, you can see, or you would kind of know that the water's relatively protected here. The waves can get choppy, but you're pretty inland from like open ocean.
Okay. There's a
And
little there's a little cove or something going on here.
right, yeah, it's kind of
All
Gulf
right.
of Mexico-esque.
The harbor.
I don't know. What does Gagh want to do? He's been like tagging along quietly.
I mean, this isn't Gagh's cup of tea. He's still kind of shy about everything so far.
My friend, why are you wearing that hood? It's a glorious day.
That's the whole point. That's why I wear it.
Oh,
Myrth is gonna hoist him up onto his shoulders and start like carrying him like a kid.
are you... I'm sorry. Were you partying the night before and you're feeling a bit light sensitive? Perhaps we'd better go into yonder cavern and rest your eyes a bit. I'd hate for you to feel the effects of the sun after enjoying too much Mirth.
Oh, I'm
He
not.
starts laughing
you
at his
can
own
never
joke.
have too much mirth.
What about frankincense?
That's fine.
I'd love it. Where'd you find this one, Myrth?
In a bar, just like everyone else I meet.
That's true.
All right. So if
So,
you guys are approaching the cave, it's gonna look pretty natural. It's just a kind of small crack in the rock, small stream coming out. As you get closer, you might hear a little bit of kind of cackling. Can I get a perception check from particularly Gick?
Oh,
Mm.
perception's not my favorite thing.
Am I in the sunlight right now?
No, you'd if you were doing this, you'd be peeking your head
Okay.
kind of into
In
the
the cave.
cave.
Gotcha. A 7.
Okay.
Not quite the rolls we had before.
full stream
All
there.
right. Yeah, so you hear a bit of kind of like clicking. You don't hear like anything particularly recognizable, and with the waves and the kind of blaring of the horns, you don't hear much more than that.
Cool. Seems all fine to me.
Oh, to be perfectly honest, I'd like a little shade myself. Let's go sit down and watch the race. Enjoy a little shade. Probably a nice, little bit cooler. Besides,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm getting a headache from whatever ginger that guy gave me.
Well, you had this ginger.
Yes.
Didn't do anything to me.
Yes.
I was fine
well,
from it, right, with my con save
Yeah.
or wisdom save.
Yeah.
Is the water fresh water, or is it like
Yes.
brackish water in
No,
the stream
fresh
there?
water.
All right, he grabs a handful of water and takes a sip out of what a safer looking little cove, or I guess fast moving water is what you want to drink. You don't want to drink still water. So he just like scoops his hand out of the running water, gives it a sniff, a little lick, and then
So
takes a drink.
before you drink it, upon sniffing it, you would smell that the water's carrying kind of some like biological kind of muck.
Yeah.
It's not.
smells ever so slightly like essence of privy.
Can you make a nature check? Not that so
Sure.
much.
Oh,
More like
nat 1 plus 4, so 5.
You shouldn't be
Okay.
drinking, Myrth.
So you would recognize it's kind of
Oh,
sour.
we get advantage on that, but it's okay. All right, sour. All right, this does not look like drinking water.
Let me taste.
Don't know if you should be doing this. It's not
Oh.
good drinking water.
What does Giek typically eat?
Jack loves meat, but whatever his masters give him. Oh,
So-
but Jack on his own now, so Jack just gets food.
So, because you've been kind of living in dwarven society for a bit, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
settled
so
on?
mostly I would say meats and ales.
Okay, so you might recognize from your days back with your kind, this is closer to rotting meat. Meat that hasn't been stored very well and just kind of left out. This is kind of that smell, that
Oh.
taste.
Oh, this is smell of death and decay. Jack is very aware, for he had to sometimes dispose of or use this as food.
Maybe there's a dead animal in the cave, or rotting fish.
Oh, but maybe not too rotten.
Steve would have loved this.
Well,
For Steve's sake, I've got to know if it's fish or fowl. If I approach the cave, is there a smell?
Now that it's been pointed out, you might smell a bit of sourness, but
Yeah.
it's certainly, it's not like the only smell you're getting. You're getting other kind of cave, damp, moist, kind of full, like the licheny smells.
Feel free to say you don't know whether which is which, but is this more of a tangy sourness in the air, or more of an acrid sourness in the air?
This would be more acrid.
Okay. I knew you were an engineer, so you know the difference.
Mostly my dad does crosswords, so I know the
Ah,
difference.
the acridity. Fantastic. Gentlemen, yeah, I'm not certain, but I do believe that this might be not just biological, but potentially minorly industrial. Is there a meat processing center around here, someplace where they slaughter the cows and dispose of the innards? Perhaps some sort of tannery nearby? Is there? That I would know
Um,
of, a
I
tannery?
don't think any of you guys would have any idea.
Cool.
You're kind
What's
of
a
on the
tannery?
outskirts of town.
Well, you see,
So
my
like
friend, when they take a creature, rip its skin off, and they're going
Yeah.
to turn it into something useful, they have to feed it through certain chemicals that make it pliable.
you would only know that generally tanneries are on the outskirts of town. They're normally not placed very nearby. So it would be consistent with where a tannery would be if there was one, but you guys wouldn't know of any tanneries near here.
Well, if there's something dead in there, we probably should clear it out. We don't want it contaminating the water. I'll
Yes,
burn it
public
up with some
nuisance.
flames.
Woo. I love fire.
Little dragon, you did say.
Yes.
Everybody loves some fire. And he'll like shoot off
Yes.
some fire bolts.
Um,
I advance, cane in hand.
all right. So it's gonna stay pretty skinny, maybe 10 feet across, 5 feet of that being, or maybe even only like 3 feet of that being actual like creek. And it's gonna continue like that for, maybe 60 feet. And then how do you guys, who's got dark vision? Someone's got dark vision. Who's got
I
dark
have dark vision.
I think you might be the only one of our group with dark vision.
I was born in the darkness,
Should
molded by
not use
it.
a black.
So I know the light rules in D&D can be a little funny.
Well, there's
The
the
way
idea of dim light, and then there's the idea of true darkness.
Right. So the way I'm gonna do it, because I think people do it differently, is it's more dependent on what you're looking at versus where you are. So if you're in complete darkness, but what you're looking at, even if it's like 100 feet away, is in bright light, you'll be able to see it just fine.
Yeah.
Because that feels like real life. But
All right, so I'll light a quick torch since I carry a few on me even when I go carousing, because you never know when you have to walk home in the dark. I'll light a quick torch and hold it up above my head so as not to hurt anyone's eyes.
I think he's only gets disadvantage in sunlight, not just light.
I wouldn't
I'm
know
correct.
that.
Yeah, I'm good in the darkness in caves.
Yeah, you might see him kind of light up, but finally getting to his eyes get like wide, and he's like, I can see again.
Visibly relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like wincing. Yeah.
All right. So
Cool.
as you're approaching, you're gonna see you're gonna see a fork, and you're gonna see following the water one way, you can faintly see some lights at the end of the tunnel, or more, it kind of bends and you can see the lights kind of bouncing off the wall. And then to the side, you can hear a faint like buzzing, and then it stops, and occasionally if you listen for it, you'll hear a little just kind of occasional buzzing.
That sounds very unusual for a cave.
What makes that sound?
I don't know, but I don't like it. Danyon is going to pull his hood up over his head and try and toss his torch into the water and go stealth.
He's gonna douse his torch.
And go stealth and use the existing light up ahead to guide him forward.
Okay, toward the lit area. Okay,
Yeah,
because the buzzing is the
that
other
is.
direction.
Yeah, that is a 25 for stealth.
All right, good to know.
That is stealthy.
I just what I need to be.
Are the others following, or are you letting him scout ahead?
I mean, a little bit of both.
I'm
Yeah,
behind, but like
trailing.
I'll be able to like join if needed.
Okay.
Myrth's gonna pull out his rod. he's got a rod, and there's gonna be lots of rod jokes, I'm sure.
Tell us about
But
it. Yeah, tell us about your rod,
yes,
Myrth.
this rod is actually a marote, which is the jester's stick. He's fashioned a little like facsimile of himself and like screwed it onto the top of his magic wand, essentially. It's his arcane focus with a little like bobblehead on it, and he's gonna like wave it around in front of
I
him,
see.
Ooh, that's
I,
pretty.
and
Okay.
then grab a dagger in his other hand.
Okay.
Yeah, you grab that dagger.
You have to have protection when you're holding your rod. Anyways, go ahead.
Um,
You never know where other daggers have been.
That's
Jacob, welcome to
true.
our game.
Yeah.
Yes, what's up?
Welcome to the game of
um,
chaos.
yeah. All right. So Danian, that's your how it's pronounced, right?
Danian, yeah.
Danian. All
Yeah.
right. So Danian is approaching, and you're gonna see once you go around this corner, the kind of crack that you've been following widens into a pretty large cavern, kind of an underground canyon has
pretty.
formed here. And you're gonna see built into the sides of this canyon, kind of all the way up, are these rickety looking platforms made out of wood, kind of attached. There's the occasional bridge spanning between the platforms. There are cables hanging down. You can see that ropes with buckets and platforms are being used to kind of traverse things up and down
Mm.
in between the levels to kind of navigate. And it's kind of a small city that's built into the sides of this. And can I get a perception check from you with disadvantage? Because everything's pretty dim. Even the light that you're seeing is pretty dim up there.
That is a 12.
All right.
Would have been a 22.
Yeah, so you can see yeah. You can see that there's some kind of creatures moving around. Can't quite make out what they are. And can you make a normal perception check? This will be for hearing.
It's a 13.
Okay. So you can hear that this is where the kind of clicking and chattering is coming from. There's a
Mm.
but that's about all
Does
you
it
can
sound
make
as if
out.
it's mechanical clicking and chattering, or is it spoken clicking and
No,
chattering?
it sounds like a spoken kind of language.
Organic.
Intelligent. You hear kind of occasional like whoa coming, like grunts and noises.
Cool.
Even
I
you
don't
might
like it.
you'll catch some common, and then you'll
Ooh,
catch some like hey, or you'll catch some curse words in common as well.
Well,
Turn over my shoulder. It looks
yeah.
like there's some sort of cavern. I can't quite make something out. My wee dragon friend, would you mind coming up? You might have better eyesight in this environment.
oh yeah, sure.
But the way I do
Quietly.
it is I kind of like climb over onto his shoulders and have
And
him like poke me over around the side.
Okay.
of course, Myrth is gonna take the low spot, so it's gonna be the 3-tiered heads poking
Yes,
around
that's
the
exactly
corner.
what I was going for.
And then you guys are at the bottom of this is gonna be considered complete darkness, where the like it's lit up a bit on top on these platforms, but it's complete darkness kind of where you guys are. So can I get a perception check from Gagh with disadvantage?
Even though I have dark vision and stuff.
Right, because it's complete
Okay.
darkness, so you get disadvantage.
Okay.
As if you were
Dim.
in dim light.
Yeah.
One of those was a nat 20, but the other one was a 4. So,
Okay.
oh, the other one was a 2, so a 4. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I mean, could
All
have been more perfect.
yeah. It was. I mean, it was perfect, and then
Good point.
the other one wasn't. Okay. So you're now at the base of this. What are you guys doing upon seeing this kind of city built into the walls? Hearing these somewhat aggressive noises coming from the top, but
Since I can't see anything, I assume the worst and grab my crossbow. Being a rogue, being a professional, whenever I don't feel comfortable, I ready a weapon just in case. So I take my crossbow out, kind of quietly try to put a bolt on there and have it ready.
And Mirth
Okay.
does the opposite. He puts his dagger away. He's like, "Oh, it's a city down here.
Fuck's
Hello,
sake.
hello up there. Are
Shh.
you guys not joining the party? I think I may have a little bit of that ginger root left if you like some."
Can I get a perception check from everyone?
Yes.
I'm going to kill you. How many times have I told you? Not everyone's your friend.
But it's a city right next to another city in the middle of a party. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's probably somebody's home. You don't want to be walking
14.
up there pointing a crossbow. A 19.
A 10.
19.
The loudest person sees the most.
Well, I mean, he's right up front. Like, he's not hiding or obscured behind anything. He's just like walking out. Hello
I'm
there.
attempting to stay stealthy while he's walking forward, for the record.
Can everyone roll initiative?
Oh, shit.
Ooh. Yes. Yes, I can.
All right. This time I got much better initiative of 22.
Ooh, I got a 21.
I got 12.
I got a rug.
Spell Gagh for me one more time.
Gagh.
Got it. It's the Klingon Gagh pronounced differently.
Yeah.
Yuck.
So you guys are all surprised on this.
No.
So can
Even me with my
we-
19 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was doing that as a
Even me
group
with my
check for
6?
their
Yeah.
their stealth. They tied you on a 19.
Cool.
I should stop using this die. It's also
Well, at this point, we might as well keep our loaded dice out. If everyone's
gonna-
got one.
you guys have been walking
Coming
Down?
up from the
Okay.
south.
down.
Or,
Well, I mean, you guys kind of had the water backwards. You guys are going up. You're going up.
okay. How
the
wide
water
is
is-
the hallway?
going that way. It's opened up, so it's kind of forming a bit of a triangle here.
Okay.
Going back to the tunnel you came out of is probably back here at this point and was 10 feet wide.
So,
You guys, Dinion's turn. When do you guys get your reactions back on surprise?
they get a full
we get-
turn, and then we get
Yeah.
our turn. We don't get any
In-
reactions. I don't.
Reaction until your first turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So monsters first. They are going to fire a arrow at each of you guys. That is a 19 to hit Gagh
Oh, yeah, that hits.
for 4 damage.
Okay.
That is a that won't hit. That won't hit Danian. And then for Myrth is a 17 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit me.
That'll hit. Okay. And
I do
that
not have my
is-
mage armor up. Even that wouldn't be enough.
That is 8 points of damage.
I'm
Oh, shit.
down.
It's one
was a
bolt.
max.
I'm down.
Max on the die. Okay. And then it is now it's Damien's turn. Right? And that's the monsters again.
Where
Oh,
are
Jesus.
do I see the monsters?
Yeah, where are they?
So you know the bolts came from generally this direction.
All right.
Oh, and actually you guys can you can chat a bit about what you want to do on your turns.
All right.
Oh,
Roll a
run?
successful death save.
Yeah. Hide.
Oh, there's some kind of boulders around. Like over here, there's kind of a boulder big enough for cover, as well as a couple over here.
So hide, death save, and at this moment, I have the feeling the best thing I can do, I think, at this moment, is to attempt to hide in the darkness and see if I can't avoid further damage dealt towards me.
All right.
So then I guess I'm going to just hide
This
because
is
bonus action hide doesn't come until next level, which is so much fun.
level.
So I'm going to go ahead and hide. Ouch. I must be hurting because that's a 12 for stealth.
All right.
Arrow zips by. Ah, step into the shower. Those. Dang it. I was too close. Oh,
What was your stealth again?
12.
Where are
Don't.
you hiding?
Oh, pardon me. I'm going to attempt to duck over right here next to this boulder. Gonna like crap, dive back, roll,
Awesome.
get behind the boulder, crossbow out forward. I
All right.
don't like being surprised.
And then it is going to be their turn again. So they are going to
Hopefully not kill us.
Gagh. Can I get a strength or dexterity check from you?
Dexterity, for sure. Oh God, 10.
That's still plenty. You are gonna see a goblin come kind of jump at you, misgauge your size, and he's gonna kind of stumble and fall.
That's because I'm small.
And then there's gonna be one more shot come at you from, again, generally this direction. Ooh, that's gonna swing way over your head. There's gonna be another goblin who's gonna run out. He's gonna position himself right here. He's kind of looking for where Danian went, but kind of runs out expecting to find him there, doesn't really find him. And at this point, you're gonna notice that there is a small little tunnel here that they're popping out of.
Okay.
So you'll see that that last goblin is actually like in cover now inside that tunnel.
Cool. Oh no. 15. Okay.
Let's share a bit. So he is probably more like here. He's got a bit of cover from you guys.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then it is Gagh's turn.
Okay. Well, this
I'll
isn't
put this over
fun.
here.
How am I supposed to deal with this with my friend down and dead?
He's not
Oh.
dead yet. You can either attempt to stabilize him or you can attack the people that are near him to try and clear some space for him.
Or Gagh's
Yeah.
not good at that.
Stabilizing's good,
Oh.
but
To
I mean, I'm
stabilize, you
not
make a
gonna-
medicine check. It's your whole action.
Yeah.
Unless you have bonus action spells.
No.
You guys probably
it-
want to take out these guys before you try and bring me back. I've got meta.
Yeah.
I've got saving throws to roll. And
Yeah,
statistically
he hasn't even rolled a
speaking-
death save yet.
Yeah.
Until he's rolled like these 2 death saves, he's not in any sort of theoretical danger.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to run away.
okay.
I can't.
Brave, Sir Gagh.
Probably runs away. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I am going to then shoot at this guy
All right.
with my Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Woo! Oh, wait, you know what? F this guy in particular. So I'm gonna hex him first.
Okay, good.
Bonus action hex.
Bonus action hex. Use my 1 spell slot, and I'll blast him.
Okay. What do you roll?
Roll your
17.
Okay. That will hit. Roll damage.
Ugh, it's only 4 damage. Oh wait, plus the hex.
which is 1d4, I think, at that level.
D6. So
D6.
5. So 4 plus 5. Oh, and Genie's Wrath. So 2 extra damage from that.
What's total?
4 plus 5.
4 plus
13?
5 plus 2 is
That'll do
11.
it. He's down.
Don't touch my friends. And also, don't shoot Gagh.
Okay. Myrth. Death save.
I pulled out the die that was hot from earlier. I'm not gonna pull punches anymore.
Now's the time.
That is
I love that blood
16.
splatter, by the way.
Okay. Successful.
Success.
Okay. Now you guys can coordinate a bit.
Okay.
The blood
Hey,
splatter.
I got one. Damien, I got one.
That's great, kid.
Remind
Don't
me
get
not to
cocky.
screw he says, quietly bleeding. I'm just in the back. Remind me not to screw the dragon. I'm currently hiding in an attempt to get myself a little bit of advantage. I'm not going to give that away by responding to the
You can-
dragon.
This
But
is just the like you guys being coordinating people who have fought with other people before.
yeah,
It doesn't
I'm
have to
gonna
be.
clear the guy who is out in the area, of course, first, because he is the next closest threat. And then after that, there's only one guy left, which I assume either Gagh is going to deal with, or Gagh's going to attempt to do a medicine check on Myrth. So pretty quick and dirty. Remind me, I'm new to playing Rogue. I haven't played Rogue in a few years. While stealthed, do I have advantage to the attack?
So you have advantage on the attack, except you can't see anything still.
So do I have to make a perception check to see him, or do I have to, or do I get disadvantage from the? It's your call.
will
You're the
say-
DM.
They cancel each other
I will
out,
say
right?
you can get
Oh yeah, that's a straight roll then.
Yeah.
except so if you're in complete darkness, you just can't see them. Can I get a perception check to see if you can see the guy out in the open? The other guy, I don't think you'd be able to see at all, because he's also like secluded behind cover. You'd know he's
All right.
there from the arrows and stuff, but you wouldn't be able to see him in the dark.
You're a 10. Let's see how he does.
If you attack him because you have advantage, I will let that cancel out with the not being able to see him to get you make it with disadvantage.
In that case, I attack with my crossbow, aiming into the darkness, where I last heard the pitter patter of feet. And oh boy, that is a 21
With
Nice.
disadvantage?
with my advantage plus his disadvantage, making a straight roll. Yeah.
You make it with disadvantage because he's not really visible. So your advantage is canceling out him being invisible entirely and making you make it with disadvantage. If you would have done
You're-
something else, that's okay.
Hey, you're the GM. I follow what you said. That is a 13.
13 is gonna miss.
Little sparks as it hits the wall.
Are you gonna stay there? Do something with the bonus action?
Um,
Not a whole lot to do with the bonus action yet.
I don't have any bonus action things to do until I get to second level as a rogue, really. All I'm gonna do is basically put my hand on the rock and slide around it a few feet to get closer towards Gagh moving that way. So I'll move myself
Okay.
real quick.
Okay. Yeah, and you'd have pretty good cover there.
Almost run into him. Oh, hi.
Monsters are gonna go. So he is gonna go there and make an attack against Gagh. Does a 19 hits, right?
Yes.
Oh, God, I gotta stop using
You're not a
this die.
dwarf
At
with
this
heavy
level.
plate, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Does he have
Swapping.
disadvantage too?
Goblins
Does he have
have
dark vision?
Dark vision.
You rolled a natural 20.
But
on the
there
disadvantage.
is dim light.
doesn't matter anyways.
Definitely stop using that die. Okay.
Okay.
So he's attacking you. That is 7 hit points.
Jesus, I'm down.
All right. You're exactly down, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't die, Daniel.
So
It's been great being part of this campaign, guys.
that is monster. This other one is gonna move up to 6. And he is gonna you're gonna see that he's grabbing Myrth. He's not attacking Myrth. He's just trying to drag Myrth and looking like he doesn't have any more movement, but he's preparing to do that.
Mm.
And then can I get a death save?
Yeah.
Roll 20.
I have an important question to ask while he rolls. Can this goblin see me in the dark?
I'm gonna have you roll for that on your turn.
Okay.
Because yeah, so
What
far
the
he
heck?
did not see you. He's
I got a 10.
That's a
10 is
success.
a success.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't know.
success. Yeah, that's
Jacob,
not
is
quite
this
what I
your
should have said.
I forgot to ask, are you relatively new to 5th edition?
I'm not new to 5th edition, but I don't have a lot of experience rolling death saves.
You've had nice DMs.
He's got it. Starting you at level 1. The fear of God in you. All right. Myrth, death save.
Come on, 20. Oh no, an 8.
All right.
One
1 and
success,
1.
one failure.
Okay. Danian and others who want to conspire. What are your thoughts?
I don't have thoughts. I'm unconscious.
If you're hidden, you can try and heal Yuck. I don't
I
know
mean,
if
do
you
any of us
can.
have the ability to heal?
Well, you can make a
I don't have a
medicine
medicine
check,
kit.
Yeah, you can make a medicine check to stabilize him.
or probably
Doesn't
better
do
to
as
just try
much
and X this guy out. So just do it.
X this guy out.
Yeah, just attack. If
Mhm.
the other guy's dragging me away, he's not going to be attacking you, and you'll have
And he'll
some.
probably be moving half movement, which means he'll
Yeah.
be going. He'll probably
Slower.
only get to here.
I would try and take this guy out. Goblins typically don't have a whole lot of hit points. If you make a good hit on
You
this
took one
guy,
out with one shot. The
yeah,
one needed
you
to. Yeah.
probably.
So what Daniel's going to do, he's going to gently set his crossbow down, leaving it behind this rock. Hopefully you'll get it later. He'll take his cane from where he kind of stuck it in his belt. Try and quietly draw the blade, holding the shaft in the other hand. And what I'm going to do is I am going to attack that goblin and go for it.
Okay.
Since I watched him kill my friend, do I still have a disadvantage on seeing him since he's in dim light?
No, you're very aware of where he is. It's only from
Okay.
hearing. Are you
And
dual wielding at this point, or are you just doing the one?
I am
Okay, cool.
getting ready to kick some butt, and I rolled a 16 on my stealth to maintain my stealth for sneak attack reasons.
That ought to be good enough. Yeah.
All right. So with the 20 on my first attack, I'm going to reach out and
Perfect.
smite this goblin with my offhand with the shaft, whacking him right across the face. I have a feeling the 20 is going to hit.
Yeah. 20 hits. Was that natural
So-
20 or just dirty 20?
A dirty.
All right.
All right. 5 points of damage to his face with the sneak
Okay.
attack bonus.
That will do a lot of damage. He's still up, but
Not for
very-
long.
very hurt looking. He staggers back, and
16 to hit for the second blow.
that will also hit.
Use the metal dice for this one. 7 points of piercing damage as I take the blade. Do a nice little 1-2 across the face, and then the blade coming down, stabbing him through the neck area, neck clavicle meeting spot, if I can.
Yeah, his head's gonna pop right off.
And
Okay.
then, with the tiny bit of movement I have, let me take my ruler out, because I had
Should
to
be able to
advance
make
one
it.
square, dance one square to get him. I'm on top of you. Don't freak out. I'm gonna have to move 20. Yeah, I'm gonna move 25 feet. I can make it right there. So here's what I'm gonna do. Using my ruler, moving right there, comes screaming out towards where I think Myrth's body is currently.
Probably
Just
kick me as you go by. Clunk.
Since my stealth has been broken, I'm just gonna scream out, "Lay off my friends, you green pukes!" and scream out. And come towards him, probably stepping on Gagh just a little bit in the process of this running stab whack run.
All right.
Squeeze a little bit more blood out.
All right. And then this goblin is gonna.
The survivor.
Yeah, he's seeing you right there. He's gonna give up trying to move Myrth. And he's just gonna attack you with his scimitar.
No max damage. No max damage.
With the scimitar, it's a
Next.
d6 plus 15.
That is a 16 to hit.
It will hit me. Go ahead and
Will
roll your
hit.
damage.
Roll damage.
I tried to block it, but I dark and they're short.
That is 4 points of damage to you.
Yes.
Oi,
Max
that's my
damage.
knee.
Okay. Now, death saves.
You-
All right. I guess we get to do it together.
yeah, roll
Yeah.
together. Why not?
Yep.
Save time.
17.
Okay.
That's
That's
1 and
another
1 for you?
success.
That's 2 and
2
1.
success, 1
Successes.
failure. So I'm one
3.
away from success.
3.
That's
That's
1 and 1 for you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
you just have to be 10. Just don't
yeah.
get a 1, because technically, if you
1
roll a
is 2
1,
fails.
That is 2 fails.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
1 would kill either of us off right now.
Well, don't keep saying that. You're just gonna
Yeah, knock on
jinx
wood.
us.
I've got lots
all
of wood
right.
around me.
And then
Is that because of your rod?
Yes,
Back-
because my rod.
Is the
Back to
goblin
you.
gonna move? Is he gonna relocate? Is he gonna stay right there?
no, he stayed right there.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
In which case,
Sorry, I completely
Go ahead.
forgot. Myrth's familiar should still be around, and he's not unconscious or dead. So Wit, the crow, or rather the raven, who's been just like pining over his master at this point, flaps up in the air and just tries to distract the goblin, giving Danian
Okay,
help action.
Given help. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
this
cool.
is why Myrth and Daniel are friends. We work so well together.
Yeah.
So great, since with the crow being with harassing the goblin counts as a
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on this.
18 to hit with the
That will
first
hit.
weapon. I'll roll to hit with the second weapon altogether and see it really faster. The second one is an 11. I don't think that'll work.
Did you do damage?
No, I was rolling the 2 to hits together.
11 will miss.
Yeah. I thought it'd be faster to roll all the damage together. So the blade is going to do a 9 points of piercing damage to this guy's face, but the shaft just kind of misses him, which is unfortunate.
That's
Stab.
plenty to knock him out. Okay, so they're all
I missed because his
all
head
down.
his head isn't there. All right. And since they're down, unless there's any other creatures immediately going to attack us, I would immediately begin attempting to stabilize Myrth.
We
Yeah.
will have to roll one more death save before you get to.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Since you guys are out of combat, the threats, well, here.
You're the DM, but per rule book, they have to finish the initiative order with death saves.
Yeah, I know.
You're the DM. You make a call.
But I am curious what you guys think. Would you rather give him a roll for each one before you guys go because he finished combat, or just let him roll with advantage because he's no longer distracted by being in a combat situation? He's just tending to his people.
For the medicine check?
Yeah, like once you've
Um,
finished the combat,
Well, I mean, there's still a certain amount of urgency because we're bleeding out. So you
there
wouldn't be able
is.
to take his time to like do a very thorough job. So I feel like, I mean, I would like to have him have advantage, but I think the urgency of the situation would require him to still
I think
work with time of the essence.
knowing in this situation, knowing these goblins and what they want, you can make a medicine check for each of them before they make their death, and if you fail, then they'll continue making death saves, and you'll make more
middle
medicine
ground.
checks.
Fantastic. So I
Yeah.
rolled an 18 for Myrth, which should be enough. I think it's 15 is the stabilization DC.
I think it's only
I thought
10.
it was like 10. Yeah, totally fine. Myrth
Oh,
is
sweet.
up.
Maybe it must be my hardcore stuff. If he stabilizes at 0 hit points, he's not dead yet. He's just hurt.
Yep.
And
I'm only mostly dead.
But not
and a
completely
14
dead.
for Gagh.
Okay, 14's
Yuck.
good. You would have, assuming Myrth was also helping, you would have gotten advantage on that too.
Well, I'm still
yeah.
unconscious. I'm stabilized but not conscious.
Okay,
Right?
you're both stabilized.
So, Kyuk, you're technically a small creature.
Yes.
Okay. So
It is
what
a
I'm-
little girl.
So first, I'm just gonna drag, just now they stabilize, drag Gagh behind this rock, drag Myrth behind the rock, and go behind the rock myself to give them a chance to, while they're unconscious, use their hit dice and come to while I keep tending to their wounds.
Okay, so you're trying to revive them. So you're basically trying to let them rest and heal up on their own.
While I stand over them to make sure they're safe now that they're in
Okay.
cover.
Okay, I like it.
If you manage to stabilize, you wake up in 1d4 hours with 1 hit point.
Right. So I'm
I could attempt to
basically
drag you guys out.
yeah. So you could try to drag them out. I would call this trying to basically rest in a hostile area where you're keeping watch. So I would let you guys basically take a short rest with and be able to heal with your hit dice that way. I'm pretty sure you can't actually do that with rests, but I think that's silly. So you can do
Otherwise,
that.
I have to roll watches.
Right, but yeah, so basically you can stay here and try to do that and roll watches, or you can try to drag them out. But I'd basically have her roll to see how your watch goes, just so you mechanically know how that would kind of work.
I can't see, and I'd have to light a torch, which means I would have 0 stealth. What I would do then,
It'd be kind of a hearing.
I don't
based
have the strength to
perception.
try it. I have a strength of 9. I want to do something very Navy SEAL-ish and attempt to throw the kobold over my shoulders,
Mhm.
grab the satyr by his legs, and try and drag them to the stream, and then use the scream to help alleviate some of the weight. Try and
Oh, I
drag
like
them
it.
both out.
Uh-huh.
Here, 5 more minutes, Mom.
Would you really could do that with like half movement since I'm carrying a good bit more weight than
Yeah, I think
usual, and
it's gonna be more of a strength check. Just more to see like how quickly you can do it and how gracefully you can do it.
ouch. I rolled a 5, so I'm making lots of noise.
Okay, so yeah, you're
Come on,
definitely
you.
moving
Oh.
slowly. And then can I get a stealth check as well?
Stealth check. Oh, sweet niblets. A stealth check of 13.
All right. That, so you can see that way up in the city, people have heard this commotion. They can't really see. It's complete. No one's lit any torches yet. So it's completely dark where they're looking, but they've heard a bit of splashing. They've heard combat. So you can see that people or creatures up in the planks are starting to move around, and there's you can see particularly one platform that is kind of listing with weight of and footsteps on it as people are kind of being loaded onto it, but it's
If
not
I
being
can
lowered yet.
If I can see it,
Yeah, up there you can see it.
since I went behind the rocks, I assume I collected my crossbow.
Yeah.
If I can see it, would I have the chance to take a aimed shot at the rope and attempt to fray it, causing them to drop into the chasm below?
Yeah,
Because I
so
would
yeah,
totally do that.
yeah. So the rope is lit well enough. There's torches around up there, totally lit well enough that you can see exactly where it is. What's the range?
That's what I was gonna say. How far away is this? Because a crossbow their effective range is 80, but their maximum range is 320. Would you rule that's out of range?
Figure out what 8 feet looks like.
You're an engineer. You can spitball it, and I'll
Okay.
trust you.
That's a fair
It would,
distance.
if you sneak up a bit, maybe to like here, you would be able to be within 80 feet of it.
Okay, so
So you won't be able to do it like
sake of
from
this,
cover. But
let's assume I've drugged them here by the time I realize what's going on, and then I run up to make the shot. One crossbow bolt. It's not. I don't know if it'll do it because that's a 10. Small target.
Small target. That's not gonna do it for the
I'm small, Miss Small.
cable. them seeing that though, it will slow them down a bit. You'll notice that people kind of like duck a bit and kind of wait to see if you're shooting more before continuing to like get people loaded up.
All right. Hang it back over my shoulder.
You're also
Through one dragonborn. I know it's not dragonborn, but it's, my character can't figure out the difference. One dragonborn over his shoulder, one satyr in the hand, and start trying to desperately trudge for the
all
surface.
right.
Yeah,
All
Myrth
right.
is like 6'7". He's a big boy.
I told you I'm dragging you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're dragging him forward. Can I get another strength check?
It's an 8, stealth of
So
11 if it matters.
yeah, I mean
Not that
they
it
know
matters much
they know you're
anymore.
down there. So they are gonna let me roll for him. Use the die that's not rolling. That can roll below 10. 10. Speak of the devil. Okay, so they are gonna throw a torch down, and you're gonna be successfully out of the light range of it. So there's a torch kind of on the ground here that they toss down to try to get eyes on you. But the dim light, you're just outside of the dim light kind of range of it. So you're still completely in the dark.
Cool.
So then you can you make one more strength check for me?
9. Not a strong
9.
dude. I'm a
Okay.
rogue. I'm swift. A foot.
Okay. So you're gonna
Quietly
get
cussing just the whole time.
you're gonna get just into the mouth of the cave here, and you're gonna see them kind of starting to lower that platform down. At this point, you're in the stream, and you can kind of get some assistance from that. There,
Float, darn you. Go.
yeah, as you're able to move down, especially the sounds of the stream, you'll see that they don't really appear to have any idea where you've gone at this point. They threw their torch, but you weren't there. They're kind of looking around where that is. You guys successfully kind of get out of that tunnel
Back to the
without,
seaside.
yeah. So, you can
Cool.
stop at that buzzing sound if you want, but I'm assuming you're gonna be trying to get straight into back to the beach.
Oh, I'm hauling for the surface at this point.
All right.
Get out into the sunlight. I'm like, oh, blessed sunlight. Remind me not to go underground again, please. Come on.
Okay.
Just trying to drag them up towards the nearest person who's technically the race coordinator off screen.
All right. So yeah, you guys are back at the beach now. And so yeah, you've pulled out your friends onto this beach. This party's kind of going on. You're at the edge of it, so people don't immediately notice that, your friends kind of need help. So, Denian, what are you doing?
As I drag them up, going, oh wait, listen. I don't know which of you idiots didn't notice the goblin horde underneath your town, but I might need a bit of help. I've got 2 wounded and a lot of anger and probably a bit of a hangover now. 2 things. Healing for these 2 and people that like to kill things to go and deal with that.
Go get the dwarves.
Yeah, so those dwarves that you're hanging out with, they'll see you, they'll recognize you, they'll see that your buddies are down.
Bleeding but bound.
What are you doing going into random caves? Of course, where do you think the goblins are gonna live?
I didn't think they'd live right inside of a city on the beach. I didn't think a regatta would be happening just a stone's throw from their entrance into the abyss below. Now, you don't happen to have access to any sort of clerical skills, do you? Because I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
getting
that this dragonborn here is quite seriously injured.
getting a cleric over here is gonna take time, but Cricket ought to be able to get you something nice pretty quick. Oh wait, can you go get Cricket, the gnome guy at the bar over there? And he'll send a dwarf off to go grab Cricket, the bartender you guys were working with.
Good bartender.
Yeah, he's gonna come over. He's gonna mix up a bit of a healing,
Wake up juice, basically.
basically. So, can I get a con save from the 2 of you?
Sure.
Because he's pouring this
Yeah.
kind of milky.
Ooh, nat 20!
concoction. Nat 20.
Now the nat 20 comes out. Could have used that 2 death saves ago.
Question. at this point, is our kobold
Oh,
is
21.
his
Sweet.
covered blown as he is unconscious and draped across my shoulders or being tossed on a table at this point?
Cover as a kobold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't really trying to
yeah.
hide the koboldness.
The monstrous races aren't particularly, appreciated in town, but they are present. You kind of missed that in the session 0, but
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
especially in the big cities, if you're in a small town, people might have a bit more prejudice towards you.
But even Gagh is so cute.
With the gnome talking about, let's take care of this kobold and all that. Daniel is going to be insisting the whole time. He's a miniature dragonborn. It's very rare. Can't you tell? I mean, surely one of your steam would know this. I mean, look at him.
Yuck's having dreams of like being a dragon and like flying and having a horde and stuff.
That's that little bit of the the root that you ate kicking in. Now that you're
Definitely.
unconscious, you're really feeling it again. Did you guys make your con saves?
Yeah, I
Yep.
got a nat 20
All right, you guys got.
plus
I got a
2,
dirty
22.
21.
All right, perfect. You guys are fine. Okay, so you guys come to. Let me roll you guys some health. Or can you guys each roll 1d4 plus 1?
Yeah.
Add that health to you.
5. Woo!
Ooh, fantastic.
4.
3 plus 1, so
4. Perfect. Okay, so you guys have that health now from these cocktails
nice.
Crickets made you.
Ouch.
That hurt a lot. Oh, but that drink was really good.
Well, what are you guys doing in the caves? That's no place for the likes of you.
We were hoping to watch the regatta, and of course, curiosity began to kill the owlbear as we wandered in and started following some strange noises. And next thing we know, these two are bleeding on the ground, and it's fallen to me yet again to prevent them from being taken into death's clutches.
What happened? I remember us in the cavern. I was saying hello to the town underneath the ground, and then all of a sudden, I felt something ouchy.
To be short, you did what you usually do.
Entertain everyone and make them happy?
Get yourself into trouble.
Oh, that does happen from time to time.
Hmm. At least you don't die every time you get into trouble. That could be very annoying.
Well, at least then we have the very strong and burly man to carry us out of the cave.
Don't you patronize me. Not on my anniversary.
Hmm. I think patronizing you is good any time, anniversary or not. But thank you for not letting us die.
All I could think of is what would my wife think of me if I left you to die?
You have a wife? I never knew.
Oh, you don't have the story.
Oh, please tell me the story. I love stories.
Oh,
Here's the
I've got a
story.
bit of a headache. Can we talk about this later? I literally
I cover
had
Myrth's
a...
mouth. Here's the story. So, I was once the scion of an elven house, adopted as a favor to my father. I married a beautiful elven maiden named Bryra. Fantastic. Eyes like the sea and hair like the wood of an oak tree. Oh, so beautiful. Anyways, the problem is that unfortunately my brother-in-law, adoptive brother-in-law, was not a particularly good sort. He decided that it was a good idea to mock my wife, saying that the only reason she would marry a human was due to some premarital indiscretions, if you will, which was not true. I'm an honorable man, despite what I do to people on occasion. And, well, after a series of insults, I decided I couldn't take it anymore, and I had to, unfortunately, close his hideous mouth permanently with a blade.
How did you close something with a blade? That sounds like something that would open a mouth.
Well, you see, what you do is you plug the hole with a blade, and then you
Look,
leave the
look,
blade
look,
there.
look.
I take a dagger and I open my mouth and
God.
I show him that like I can still put a dagger in my mouth and still talk.
Look, I can't look for. That's why.
It doesn't work that way for elves. Anyhow, he dies. I took this ring. I show him my signet ring. It's on my left hand. Took this ring from him as a souvenir. Unfortunately, my hot-headedness earned me a banishment. Because it was technically a duel and not an outright murder, I was not executed, but suffice to say, I haven't seen my wife in 4 years. I'm just trying to find a home for us, really, at this point.
Your wife that has trees for her?
Yes.
I heard oak, and that's all. That's all I'm thinking of.
And Wit now flies down, lands on Daniel's shoulder, and starts crying. Just kind of mocking him and being a pest.
Gently knock him off my shoulder with my cane.
No, no, come here.
I grab him.
He starts
Oh,
picking
be
at
careful.
your scales, getting a little bit of gunk out from underneath them, kind of preening you,
Oh, that's nice, thank you.
scratching away some
Beware
dirt.
that bird. That bird can be a bit of a nuisance and a bit of help at times. I don't know how to feel about him. A little bit like I don't know how to feel about Myrth at times. But you know,
So, can I speak now?
Myrth, you may speak. Just remember, it's my anniversary. Please don't say something stupid involving my wife.
We're on a beach, right?
Something stupid
Yeah.
involving your wife.
Can I find a conch? Can I find like a conch shell and hand it to her to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too
Hand her
tough.
the conch shell.
That has a lovely sound to it. He starts playing a little tune on it.
Like a kazoo.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
like Survivor.
Yeah.
Hasn't been cut to be a horn yet, so now it's just basically a kazoo.
Just making a sputtering
Right.
I
sound.
don't know about you, but I need to sleep. And honestly, I'm starting to get a bit of a hangover from that weird ginger.
Um,
I mean, I'm also not feeling so hot.
The tiefling that gave you guys that weird ginger is gonna kind of see you guys slumped over on the ground. It's getting a bit later, it's like 5 o'clock or something now. Getting maybe like 6. The sun's starting to kind of make the water look all pretty. And she's gonna come over, wave like, "Oh, you guys, just who I was looking for. I've been sitting here, and gosh, this festival's been fantastic. I'm glad you guys could come. But I was hoping I could get some help from some tough guys like you. I saw you took on those fighting with that dwarf. You got some good moves, and what happened here?
Goblins happened, and honestly, I don't want to talk about it. What do you need, friend?
Oh, good, you guys are fighting goblins. That's good, great, exactly what I'm looking for.
Don't make me go underground again. Not twice in one day.
So me and a couple of friends, we're you guys know about the refineries down over there, right?
What are you talking about?
Way yonder across the river, there's these refineries from the rich folk. They keep polluting the water, and it's just not right. It's not natural. And on this wonderful solstice, we were thinking of breaking into there and messing with the place. You guys in?
I mean, that does sound exciting.
Can we go
it is-
tomorrow?
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
ask.
no, it's
I need
got-
to sleep.
It's got to be tonight. We'll rest up, but
It's-
once it gets dark, you guys will be fine. You guys will be fine.
Sounds like a real good time. Just give me a few more drinks.
Tonight's doable for certain.
Drinks are. I know what you're looking for. She'll give you some more. Pull out the root, and she like shaves it and licks it, kind of like the mints that dissolve on your tongue. She'll stick it on her tongue. All right, and I think on that note, we will call it a night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. If you like what you've heard and want to support, consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and the rest of it. The gesture may seem small, but it makes a big difference. For more information about the show, you can visit our website at arcaneintelligence.com. If you're interested in chatting it up with the cast and other like-minded enthusiasts about all things RPG, consider joining our friendly Discord server. Links are available in the description. Well, that's it. See you in 2 weeks.